superhero.
Top 15 Most Terrifying Sith Force Powers. 15. Maelstrom. We listed this power first because it is technically just a combination of three powers, used at once to create a terrifying and deadly effect. Within the expanded universe, this skill was employed primarily by Darth Sidious and Galen, Starkiller, Merrick of the Force Unleashed video games. 14. Deadly Sight. She was one of the villains in Star Wars Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2. Deadly Sight was the ability to channel hatred into dark side energy to cause damage to opponents simply by looking at them. It could be lethal, but was very difficult to maintain over a few seconds of use. A painful fate, those who were on the receiving end of this technique were burned and essentially boiled alive. 13. Rage. Force Rage is an impressive and terrifying thing to see, as the user has used all of their hatred, fear, negativity and anger to throw themselves into a brutalizing frenzy of destruction. Of course, against an experienced Jedi, a Sith in the middle of a rage may make a mistake. Anakin is an example of this, continuing the fight against Obi-Wan at the end of Revenge of the Sith. 12. Force Clouding. Clouding. Darth Sidious Palpatine used this power to conceal his true nature as a Sith Lord for years while he was planning and executing the destruction of the Republic and the Jedi. 11. Monster Creation. This was one of the disturbing powers that was made famous by early Sith Lord Exar Kun. A fallen Jedi, Kun realized how much the dark side offers and fell, quickly learning Sith alchemy and eventually refined this power to be able to actually create terrible dark side creatures such as Terrantitex, Chirax, certain types of rancors and of course one of the most feared of the mythical species in Star Wars, the Leviathan. 10. Memory Walk. One of the cruelest and most sinister characters in the expanded universe comes from the Lando Calrissian Adventures book series. His name was Rokor Gepta, a croak, sentient, multi-legged creatures whose lives spanned millennia, who was more than adept in the dark side arts. Memory walk, or torture by chagrin, was his own method of torture and sometimes execution. A form of mind control, Gepta could get inside the minds of his victims and force them, as the name would suggest, to relive the most devastating and regrettable events of their lives. 9. Force Crush. If you choose to play as a dark side character and, spoiler alert, kill the entire remaining Jedi Council on Dantooine, you will receive this disgusting but awesome skill. This is one of the most powerful dark side powers in the game and indeed, the galaxy, and allows the user to lift a victim into the air and use the force to collapse the spine and central nervous system, instantly killing that opponent. 8. Bolt of Hatred. Sutta Quituskik, meaning thrown spears. This power dates back to the days of Sith Lord Freedon Nadd, one of the most powerful of the Sith in recorded Star Wars history. Knowledge of this technique would allow the user to manifest their own hatred into a physical spear which they could hurl at any target of their choosing, likely causing a horrifying instant death.